Writebol was in mid-Missouri visiting family this week. I sat down to talk with her about her battle with the virus and life now that she's Ebola-free.
I was not sure when I said goodbye to David whether I would ever see him again. I was just that sick.
Nancy Writebol was working at a hospital in the outbreak's epicenter, Liberia. Her job, help doctors put on and take off their protective gear. Did it ever cross your mind that you might get sick?
No. I knew it was important, though, for me to, wear gloves and to be in an apron when I did decontamination. But I never thought that, that I would contract Ebola.
She initially thought it was malaria, but when treatment for that failed, she was tested for Ebola. Her husband, David, broke the news.
There were nights in Liberia when I would go to sleep and I would just tell the Lord, I don't really know when I wake up in the morning whether I'm going to be with you, which is great, or whether I'm still going to be here.
She was growing weaker by the day. On August 5th, she was flown from Liberia to Emory University Hospital in Atlanta.
I remember the night that I was evacuated out that I was on a stretcher because I was so weak I couldn't walk. And one of the medics came and just put his hands around my face and he said, Nancy, we're going to take you home. And he said, we're going to take really good care of you.
And they did. About 3 weeks later, Nancy Writebol was declared Ebola-free. Do you remember there being a point when you knew you were going to be okay, that you knew that you would come out the other side?
One of the doctors at Emory came in and said, Nancy, you've turned the corner. And all I could say to him was, praise God.
Now, when you got out, did you ever experience that maybe there was some kind of stigma of being an Ebola survivor? Were people hesitant to be around you, thinking they could still get it?
There has been some people that have been afraid. And I've just kind of tried to respect, their fear in not wanting to be close.
The fear seems to be spreading here at home as two nurses who treated an Ebola patient contracted the disease themselves. You see kind of people in the United States, there's this fear almost of Ebola. Should people be afraid?
Well, I think we all need to have a respectful fear of Ebola, but not a hysteria or a panic. I think we do know how to control what happens, and I think that we are doing that to the best of our ability. I think that our attention needs to go back to West Africa.
Looking back and knowing that you beat this deadly disease, what does that feel like?
There have been many times I've woken and just been so grateful to be a survivor, and so grateful to be able to speak for the West Africa crisis, and I'm just thankful.
Writebol says she doesn't know what the future holds for her, but she may one day return to West Africa to help. She hopes her experience helps spread awareness about the Ebola epidemic there. If you want to help in the fight against Ebola, we have links to resources on our website, connectmidmissouri.com.